Brought to you by Get Well Yoga. Get back to doing what you love.
We're going to emphasize the core today. We haven't gone through or really talked about the core too much, but we'll be emphasizing the core. And when we talk about the core, it's not just the abdominals in the front body. We often just think about what's in front of us, our eyes set in front of us, right? We're just usually focused on what's in front of us. But when we think of the core, we also think of the sides, and which would be the oblique muscles and the quadratus lumborum, this big muscle that spans across down through the side here, and of course the core in the back. So we want to get all three areas of the core, and every movement we make, every movement we initiate starts in the core. So as we twist, that twist actually starts through the core. So we'll be emphasizing the core today. So thanks for joining us, and we'll get started with some gentle movements. And I invite you to take the back of the hand, I'll mirror you, so the back of the right hand comes, and see how if I can extend it up through the spine, up through the spinal column. And this in itself is a nice heart opener. We're opening the chest and the front body. And the lungs are the commander of chi, the commander of our life force. So I invite you to, with the other hand, the left hand in your case, palm faces up at the midline, right? The belly here or the lower dantian. Inhaling, exhaling, very slowly, palm faces down. Inhaling in the front body, into the front of the lungs, exhaling, see if you can exhale now into the back body. And for those that are just joining us, the back of the hand is traversed up the spinal column. Perhaps it's up between the shoulder blades. It's up as high as one can travel that hand, and just doing the best with what you have today. So if there's any sharp, tingling, radiating pain or any ascending or descending numbness, please stop and just back off. I applaud you for knowing your own bodies. Exhaling as the hand lowers, see if you can grow a little bit taller. Think of extending out through the crown of the head. Spread toes wide as we inhale, even elevate the toes perhaps. Exhaling, place the wide spread toes down, and as the hand draws down through the midline, keep extending out through the crown of the head, breathing into the back body on the exhale. Two more breaths. As we move with grace, think about the transition being just as important as the pose itself. Back of hand comes up as far as possible up the spinal column. And notice one side may be a little different than the other. As we breathe into the front body, exhaling, lowering back down, spreading toes wide and extending out through the crown of the head. Again, there's no hurry. See if you can begin to lengthen, deepen, and slow down the breath. Two more breaths. Inhaling, the toes rise, belly rises. Full diaphragmatic breath. Exhaling, place the wide spread toes down and extend out through the crown of the head. Wonderful. As we take now both hands up through the midline, and we're going to do 3 breaths here. Inhaling and then exhaling, and the hands are about an inch apart as they glide down through the midline. Inhaling, spread toes wide, toes elevate. Exhaling, slowly back down. on this next breath, I invite you to come up off the heels as the hands travel up a little bit higher. Exhaling one more time. See if you can find a point of focus. Let's do that once more. Inhaling, nourishing breath through the tip of the nose. Breathe in a sense of vitality. Exhaling, relaxing, the heels descend with the hands. See if you can coordinate that movement, hands and heels. As we take now this movement to the side body. Think of the core again is in the side body as we raise the heels, as we extend the arms, palms face out to the far horizons. Feet slowly come back down, heels slowly ground as the arms retract back to the shoulder heads, or the hands. Out through the eye of the palm, growing tall, out through crown of head, the heels rise. Last one. As we slowly come back down, we're going to transition straight away into meridian cleansing. So a little bit wider in the stance as the hand now glides atop of the outstretched right arm, I'll mirror you, and then the hand turns up to the heavens and we press firmly down the inside of the arm. And we glide along the outstretched arm of the opposite side. Inhaling, a nourishing breath, grow tall again as we press firmly through the lung point here. Both hands descend down the outside of the leg. Then gather energy along the inside up to the belly. Both hands descend down the opposite side. Inhaling a nourishing breath as we extend the arm and come back, gliding the hand firmly across the top of the arm and then alongside the inside of the arm, right to this important lung point. Cleansing as we inhale, perhaps a little bit further over the fingers, if that's available. Nourishing breath, inhaling, exhaling as we descend. Inhaling as we gather to the belly, exhaling as we descend. As we come into a nice flow state as we lengthen, this is a wonderful stretch for the entire body. Neck, shoulders, arms, all the muscles of the body. And it's a wonderful release as we release trapped and stagnant energy through all of the meridians in the body. One more time, perhaps gliding the hand out a little bit further past the outstretched arm. And then alongside firmly into the lung point once more. Inhaling as we lengthen and exhaling as we slowly come down the outside of the leg. Excellent work, everyone. As we come up in a clearing gesture, both hands come up to the heavens and slowly back down through the midline. Very slowly. Exhaling, the hands are about an inch apart. Slight bend in the knees. Now we're going to take the back of the right hand, again, I'll mirror you, into the back body. And we're going to wrap the arm around the neck so that the hand is at the ear. So we have the hand right here at the ear. And we're going to begin to twist in the core. So see if you can engage the abdominals as we lengthen through the spine, twisting over to your left. No, it would be your right, I beg your pardon. Inhaling back to the midline and then twisting in the opposite direction. Feel the back of the hand into the lower part of the back. Think about extending out through the crown of the head here, so we're not dumping into the lower back. We don't want to compress that lower part of the spine. Exhaling, the elbow comes to the opposite knee now as we come into a twist squat. Inhaling as we rise, coming back into the twist, a slight back bend, turning to the other side. And we're going to do 5 breaths, so 5 movements as we coordinate movement with breath. Inhaling, chest gets bigger, heart gets bigger. Exhaling as we descend elbow to knee. As we come back up, there's a nice gentle back bend as we twist. Engage the abdominals to help support the spine. Twisting back in the opposite direction, exhaling down. You got this. Applaud you for really challenging yourself with this new movement, perhaps, where it's like learning a new language. The neurons are firing, the synapses are firing. We're really healthy for the brain when we try something new. So really great work for doing this. As we now come in a full twist, we're going to transition to the other side gracefully. So the opposite hand now comes to the lower back, and the hand comes to the ear as we glide in a nice twist around. Use the back of the hand into the lower back to help open and support the movement and create a little bit more length through the spine. Chest gets bigger, heart gets bigger. Exhaling as we descend elbow to knee. Inhaling a nourishing breath as we open back up. Slowly turning the opposite direction. Twisting back, opening up, and then descending down on the exhale. Twisting around the opposite direction. Feel the back of the hand once more into the lower back, extend rather than compress the lower back. See if you can keep that sense of extension through the spine. Then descending as you bend deeply at the knees, elbow comes to the opposite knee. Inhaling a nourishing breath, sense of vitality as you open and twist. Last one. Time where you get a nice twist where you decompress the spine. Beautiful. As we unfold and give yourself a nice self-massage, pressing firmly down through the side neck muscles. Hand glides down through the midline now. Wonderful. As we come into Warrior Two, I invite you to windmill the arm back and turn the front foot forward. And the knee is aligned with ankle. So we're not diving in with the knee or diving out, and we're not diving too far forward. The knee sits atop of ankle. As we make a firm fist, make a firm fist down, make a firm fist up, spread fingers wide, eagle claw, and then release the hands. So we're now releasing the shoulders away from the ears and creating a little bit more space between the shoulders and the ears. Notice what's happening with the toes. Are the toes gripping? And the back foot is slightly turned in towards 90 degrees. Well, actually it's more like 45 degrees. Nourishing breath as we make a firm fist now, and we take the back hand to the lower back. Nice firm fist as we bend deeply at the elbow of the front arm, and we're twisting now over and looking at the top of the fist. And there's a nice back bend here. Again, use the fist in the lower back to help lengthen and strengthen the back leg. Nice, strong, straight back leg. As we come back to Warrior Two, releasing the fist. And once again, relaxing into the pose, finding ease within effort. Making a firm fist once more. Back hand comes to lower back. Bending deeply at the elbow, we look atop of the fist over to the side. Slight back bend. As we come back, releasing the fist. One more time. making a firm fist, nice strong straight back leg. Back hand comes to lower back, bending deeply at the elbow in the front arm, slight back bend. As we come back and release, moving gracefully to the other side. Backhand windmills across the body, and we glide the front foot to turn forward. Check in with alignment, knee atop of ankle. Backhand straight back, back arm straight back. Nice strong straight back leg. Back foot turn slightly in, making a firm fist down, firm fist up. Spread fingers wide, eagle claw, and then relax into the pose. Relaxation is a response. We are naturally hardwired. We need to find ways in which to trigger that response, that relaxation response. Making a firm fist. Backhand comes to lower back in a firm fist. Bending deeply at the elbow, and there's a slight back bend here as we look atop of the fist. Hand comes back to center as we release the fingers and soften into the pose. But we maintain a nice strong straight back leg. Lengthen through all four sides of the torso, through all sides of the core, front, side, and back. Firm fist. One more time. Both feet face forward, hands come down through the midline. Gather energy, make a firm fist, and draw the hands back to the hips, palms face up in a fist. Come back to hip width, shoulder width apart. And there's either a squat here, wherever you feel comfortable today. If you want to really develop some leg strength, and feel what works for you. We all come out of the factory a little bit differently, so you might like to have the feet turned in, you may like to have the feet turned out, whatever feels best in your knee joint as we draw the fists back to the hips. So in martial arts, what we just did actually is a block here, the X block, stopping something coming in, and then we've done a strike with the elbows to someone behind us. But when we turn it into a Qigong practice, it's a nice smooth relaxation response. Again, as we now glide the arm up and gathering energy back into the body. Inhaling as we come to a nice side stretch. Shaolin punch. We did this last week, but it's worth repeating some of these movements just so that you get a sense of what works for you. We're trying to find something that feels good in our bodies because we're more likely to repeat it. See if you can find a couple of little gems that really work for you so you can practice these throughout your life. This is something that we can do through our entire life and really maintain the sense of strength and vitality and a sense of calm. Japanese proverb is get knocked down 7 times, get back up 8. So we gather strength in gathering energy into the body. Last one. Wonderful. Both arms come up in a clearing gesture. As the arms ascend up, we turn to the side. We're going to rotate over to your right. And then the hands descend down, the 2 arms descend down to the earth. Hands come together into the opposite side. Nice back bend here and a nice lateral stretch. Then we face back to the midline, arms extended overhead. And then we bend deeply at the elbows and we're swimming slowly down with the hands in front of the chest, in front of the belly, all the way down to the earth. making a large figure 8, if you will, with the hands as they come back up, front of the belly. As we circle and swim our way up, the heels rise. Slowly lowering the heels, we turn over to the left now. Arms descend down and across. Inhaling a nourishing breath as we lengthen through the side body. Coming back to the midline, slowly bending at the elbows once more. We swim. This is called swimming dragon. Interesting story in martial arts about the dragon. It first started with a monkey. It was a technique that Tok Mo had developed for the Shaolin. As we turn in one direction, both arms descend down. Because the monks were sitting there meditating and getting a little bit out of shape and unable to resist the incoming invading armies. So they developed a practice where they grew focus from the animals around them, and they first started with a monkey. We've done some movements that are from the monkey. That was for ground fighting techniques. They looked at their grappling and the ability to grapple and do this ground technique, very fast movements in. As we slowly come to one side, both arms descend down. Anyway, coming back to the dragon, then there was, the armies worked out this technique, so they invented the crane, a technique of trapping and grabbing as both arms swim slowly down. Then the crane was figured out. The trapping was then countered by the tiger, the energy and the quickness of the tiger. And then once more, the army figured out that movement, and they came up with an all-encompassing movement of the dragon. The dragon being able to defeat the tiger, the crane, and the monkey. So that's the story of martial arts, when you see these animals represented in martial arts. Wonderful. As we slowly take the hands out to the sides, palms face out to the far horizons. And we'll have one last movement because we're coming up to transitioning over to Mary Jo's wonderful practice. Penguin. As the knees come together, we make a firm fist down, firm fist up, spread fingers wide, and release, exhaling out to the far horizons. Once more, thumb to middle finger, make a firm fist down, firm fist up, spread fingers wide, exhale, release. Pausing and releasing, stand. Thumb to middle finger, firm fist down, pausing on the inhale. Firm fist up, still pausing. Exhaling, extend out. Doing 7. That's 5. 2 more. You got this. Last one. And release. Slowly bring the arms back down and rolling the shoulders a few times. They've just done a lot of work. Well done, Menagoso. Passing it over to
Thank
you.
you, John.
Here is the microphone.
Okay, we'll start now with some Qigong movements, and it's a continuation from last week of the 8 brocades. The 8 brocades are, it's also known as 8 pieces of silk. So brocade is a nice woven fabric where they sometimes use gold or silver thread. So we're going to start with a form or a pose called palms raised to heaven. So interlace your fingers, palms are raised up to the sky. Bring your arms up above your lower dantian and then raise the palms up. And bring your arms back to the side. Let's do this once more. We'll do about 5 of these. Rotate your palms up to the sky, lift your heels, and bring your arms out to the side. Again, this form, this 8 brocades, is very popular and used in traditional Chinese medicine. This pose, palm raised to heaven, is good for the thermostat of the body. It's believed to be good for the thermostat of the body. And it also helps with shoulder stiffness and circulation as we move our arms up and to our side, raising our heels up. Let's do one more. Let's raise our palms to the heaven. Now let's come to a pose called drawing the bow. So bring our feet a little wider than hip distance apart. Let's bring our palms together in front of us and our elbows together. Let's take your left arm and extend it to the side, creating an L with your fingers. And then with your right hand, let's bring our right hand into the opposite direction, as if we're pulling a bow. Let's bring our palms back together and do the same movement onto the other side. So you're bringing your right arm into an L shape and bringing the bow back. Drawing the bow. This form is said to be used to help with your liver. Your liver is known to be helpful for vision. They also use this pose for your heart, correlating intention with your heart. Also very good for your lungs, for respiration. If you're a real good archer, you want good vision and clarity to find your target. So this once more. Drawing the bow. Now let's bring our feet about hip distance apart. We're going to be moving into a third form of the 8 brocades, so the 8 pieces of silk. It's called Wise Owl Turns His Head to Eliminate eliminate fatigue. So bring your palms to the wall behind you, just hands by your side. As you inhale, bend your knees. And as you exhale, open your arms, open your palms to the wall in front of you, and turn your head to the left. Inhale, turn your head to the right, palms and knees straight, palms are behind you. Exhale. Let's bring your head to the right, and inhale back to center. Exhale, palms forward, head to the left. Inhale, palms to center. Bend your knees if you want. You can do this with your knees straight. Exhale, look over to the right. And inhale back to center. Again, we're moving our head as an owl would. An owl would move his head from side to side. They actually could probably move their head in a 360-degree rotation. The head is known to be in Taoist. It's known to be your abode for your inner God, and that's where it exists. So again, the intention is to keep your pathways clear, your head clear, and from a physiological standpoint, this pose is good to help with tension release. Release your neck or any tension in your shoulders. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to your left. Inhale back to center. Let's do this one more time. Exhale. And exhale to your left. And inhale back to your center. Let's clear. Let's circle our arms out and up. Bring both palms in front of us, in front of our eyes. We're clearing any blockages. Palms in front of your heart. In front of your lower dantian. Let's do this once more. Let's bring in some good energy. And let's seal this into our lower dantian. So again, for women, left hand over right. Focusing on our breath. And just cultivating that energy within our body. From here, we're going to move into a forward fold, a yoga pose. Again, we're focusing on core. As John mentioned, core is the center of your body. So we're actually going to work on keeping the medial part of your body just strong. Again, from the pubic bone all the way to your rib cage, and then from your pelvis to your spine. So let's keep our feet about hip distance apart. Circle our arms out and up. Bring your palms together, look up at your palms. Circle your arms out and down as we fold forward. Bringing your knees, bend your knees, and then bringing your torso and having it rest on your thighs, relaxing the neck. Now let's sweep our arms out and back as you engage the abdominals. Palms back up to the heavens. Look up at your palms. Sweep your arms back down. As we bend down into another forward fold, bend your knees, relax the neck, thighs, and your chest meet. And inhale, re-engage the abdominals. Let's do this once more. Sweep your arms out to the side, bend your knees. Relax the neck. Don't forget to breathe. And sweep your arms out and back up. And palms to your heart. From here we'll move into chair pose, Utkatasana. I'll actually just demonstrate the alignment. So your feet are about hip distance apart. Slight bend of your knees. Your inner thighs are inwardly rotated so they're facing the back. Lengthen your spine. See if you can just tuck your tailbone in slightly or just tailbone to the earth. So feel the length of your spine. And then we're going to bring our arms forward and up. And then let's bring our arms to our side to a cactus position. And keeping the torso and your stomach, your abdomen tucked in. Let's sweep our arms out, forward and up. And let's bring the arms back as we re-engage the abdominals. Sweep our arms back, out, forward and up. Keep the movement from the center of your body, almost like you have a corset. Sweep your arms out, forward and up. And we'll do this once more. And great. Excellent work. If you have a mat, if you could grab your mat, we're going to come down to the floor and do some mat work. If you have a mat or a blanket or a pillow, we're going to come down on our knees, onto our knees. A blanket or a pillow will just help protect your knees. And as always, John will do modifications to the pose. So let's come on all fours. Line up the wrists with your shoulders and your knees with your hips. Let's come into cat-cow. Or you can, as John is showing, if you have some wrist issues, you can just basically use your, bring your wrists into this position. As we inhale, let's bring our chest forward, heart forward, tailbone lifts, and round the back. Inhale, head lifts, shoulders open up, and exhale, round the mid-back, the lower back. Tailbone comes down. Inhale. pose. So your buttocks comes down to your heels and your elbows come down to the mat. Your head can lower down to the mat, or John's showing a modification for your head. Let's inhale and come up. And exhale, come back down. So we're coming to a dynamic child's pose. Inhale, come forward and up. And exhale, come back down. Once more, inhale, come back up. And exhale, come back down to the earth. Inhale, as we come back up, let's extend your left leg and keep your toes onto the earth, and then extend the opposite arm and bring it in front of you. The tendency sometimes is to your ribs comes down, so see if you can just lift those ribs up. Again, keep the core engaged, tuck everything in as if you had a corset on, and hands back to your mat, knee back down, and let's come back down to child's pose. Let's come back up, and this time let's extend the right leg. Just keeping that right leg onto the ground, and then your left, the opposite arm comes up. Keeping those ribs tucked in, the core centered, and hands back down, knees back in, and let's come back down to child's pose. We're going to move a little faster this time. As we inhale, this time let's actually lift the leg up. Option to keep the foot down, or if you want to challenge yourself, lift the leg up. Opposite arm is extended. And let's come back down to child's pose. Let's come back up. This time let us raise the right leg and your opposite arm. Your palms are facing you. And let's come back down to earth. From here, we'll lay on our back. So if you could just, you could keep your blanket or your pillow by your side. And let's lay on our back. And bring your knees or your legs to a 90-degree angle. And then bring your palms up to the sky. Palms face each other. As we inhale, bring your legs, both knees over to the left, twist over to the left as both palms, both arms go over to the right. And this is a really safe way to strengthen the abdominals. Come back to center. Inhale, twist over to the right. Palms in the opposite direction, arms in the opposite direction. Come back to center. Inhale, both. Twist over to the left. Palms back to center. Come back to center. Do one more on your own. palms over to the opposite direction or arms to the opposite direction. And come back to center. Relax the arms, bring them back to your mat. From here, see if you could just lift one leg up to the sky, your left leg, and then lift your other leg up to the sky. You can invite you, if you'd like to, is just hold on to the edges of your mat. And for a count of 10, let's bring the left foot down to the earth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's do the same with the right leg. Engaging your abdominals as you come down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. We're now in a position for Savasana. Savasana is called the corpse pose. So if you could just see if you could consciously invite your body to relax as you lay here. And close your eyes. Notice how you feel. What sensations are coming up for you right now and calling your attention? And simply welcome any sensation, any thought, feeling, or emotions. Feel the body ground to the earth. Feel the body breathing itself. And when you're ready, slowly move over to your side. And slowly come up, extending your top leg and pushing up with your top arm. Thanking yourself for coming to your practice today and whatever intention you have for the rest of the day. May you be well. May you be happy. Thank you.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Namaste.